I love that. So as we wrap up this deep dive into the lone capsuleer, I really hope our listener is feeling that sense of wonder, that thirst for knowledge, and just a deeper appreciation for how stories can help us understand ourselves,
And maybe a little healthy fear of what might be out there in space.
Always good to remember. Until next time, everyone, keep exploring, keep asking questions, and keep looking up at the stars. Who knows what we'll find up there?
Winter is here, but so are we. We fit tires at your place or ours. Halfords Motoring Club Premium members get an extra 5% off, plus an MOT at no extra cost. Join online today for $4.99 a month.
Own the night with the new Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra on O2. Supercharged Galaxy AI and stunning ultra-wide low-light shows. Pre-order now and save up to £480. Plus get Galaxy Buds 3 Pro for an extra £20. O2, see what you can do.
All right, ready to jump back into the lone capsuleer.
Oh, yeah.
Today, we're going to crack open Chapter 18,
Okay.
The Veil of Secrets.
Nice.
If you've been following Valen King's adventures, you know that things are about to get intense.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
We've got ancient mysteries,
Yeah.
a galaxy-level threat. But the real question,
Okay.
are we about to step outside the bounds of known space and encounter something truly alien?
It's interesting, this chapter
Yeah.
doesn't just throw Valen into another firefight. It ratchets up the tension on a bigger scale.
Right.
Like the decisions he makes now
Okay.
could impact, well, everything.
Exactly.
The whole
Exactly. And remember, we've got Valen, Aliana, and their new ally, Kale.
Right.
They're searching for the Rift,
Yeah.
which is this mysterious gateway that
Yeah.
could tear the galaxy apart.
Right.
They're not just trying to find it, though.
Okay.
They're trying to understand it, maybe even control it before someone else does.
I see. Yeah.
And that's where this ancient data module comes in.
Okay.
Remember they recovered it a while back?
Yeah.
And Eliana finally cracked the encryption.
Wow.
And this isn't just any old code. We're talking Jovian military-grade encryption.
Okay.
The kind that makes modern security systems look like child's play.
Oh, wow. That's intense.
If the Jovians were using this level of encryption, what were they trying to hide?
Yeah.
Makes you think that maybe the Rift is more than just some scientific anomaly.
Okay.
What if it was something they built? Or at least something they were trying to control?
Yeah, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Right.
And the data module holds the answer,
Okay.
or at least part of it,
Right.
when they activate it.
Yeah.
A hologram of Captain Elias Varga appears,
Oh, wow.
and he drops some serious truth bombs.
Okay.
First of all,
Yeah.
the Rift isn't just a tear in space. It's a controlled anomaly.
Okay.
Something came through it.
Yeah.
Something that forced them to seal it off
Mm-hmm.
to protect humanity.
Right.
Second,
Yeah.
that seal
Mm-hmm.
is weakening,
Oh, no.
which is bad news on a galactic scale.
I can only imagine. So at this point, you're probably thinking, who are these Jovians?
Right.
And why should I care?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, think of them as the ancient guardians of the galaxy.
Okay.
Super advanced and mysterious.
All right.
And this Captain Varga,
Yeah,
he's like their last message in a bottle,
I see.
warning us about something terrifying.
Right.
He also tells them to find the key of solace,
Okay.
the only way to control the Rift,
Mhm.
and warns them not to trust anyone,
Oh, wow.
not even themselves.
Oh, that's creepy.
Chills, right?
Yeah.
It really adds this whole layer of paranoia and uncertainty.
Mhm.
It makes you wonder,
Yeah.
who's the real enemy here?
Yep.
Is it something on the other side of the Rift?
Mhm.
Or is it something closer to home?
Okay.
Maybe even within Valen himself?
Yeah.
And just as things couldn't get more complicated,
Right.
Valen and his crew arrive in what's supposed to be
Okay.
an empty star system,
Uh-huh.
according to their charts. Anyway, it turns out it's anything but empty.
Oh, no.
They find themselves facing down a syndicate fleet,
Oh, wow.
and leading the charge
Okay.
is none other than Winky Kinky,
Oh, no, not Winky.
of the Thunder Dogs,
Right.
you know, the guy with the flamboyant name and an even bigger chip on his shoulder.
Oh, man. So this encounter really highlights the fact
Yeah.
that Valen's constantly in danger.
Right.
He's a wanted man.
Uh-huh.
And no matter where he goes,
Yeah.
enemies seem to pop up,
Right.
like spacefaring whack-a-moles.
And Winky, true to form,
Okay.
demands Valen's surrender.
Oh, wow.
But Valen never want to back down. Just throw some taunts right back at him.
Oh, man.
It's like watching a cosmic game of chicken.
Yeah.
Except the stakes are a little higher
Right.
than just bruised egos.
For sure. This clash between Valen and Winky
Mm-hmm.
goes beyond just a rivalry.
Okay.
It represents two different ways of surviving
Oh.
in this cutthroat galaxy.
Yeah.
Valen relies on his wit and adaptability,
Mm-hmm.
while Winky relies on brute force
Right.
and intimidation.
Okay.
Classic battle between brains and brawn.
Yeah.
But in this case, both are armed with spaceships
Oh, yeah.
and enough firepower to level a planet.
And speaking of firepower, what follows
Yeah.
is a full-on space battle
Okay.
in an asteroid field.
Nice.
It's like something straight out of a holofilm,
Right.
with
Right.
Valen pulling some serious maverick moves, using the asteroids for cover,
Okay.
and even cloaking the Javelin's edge to escape.
Wow.
Now, the fact that Valen can cloak his ship in the middle of a battle tells you something about the technology he has access to.
Right.
It's not just about fancy gadgets.
Okay.
It's about staying one step ahead,
Mm-hmm.
about using every advantage you can get
Yeah.
when the galaxy's trying to kill you.
I see. Valen's use of the asteroid field
Yeah.
goes beyond just fancy flying.
Okay.
It speaks to his tactical mind,
Mm-hmm.
his ability to assess a situation
Right.
and exploit its weaknesses.
Yeah.
He's not just reacting, he's thinking, planning,
Right.
and adapting.
Okay.
It's this kind of strategic thinking
Yeah.
that sets him apart.
Eventually, they managed to shake off the Thunderdogs
Okay.
and reach their destination,
Yeah.
a hidden research station,
Right.
seemingly abandoned and derelict. They're hoping this is where they'll find the Key of Solace.
Okay.
And against all odds,
Yeah.
they do.
Nice.
But as soon as they lay hands on it,
Yeah.
alarms start blaring.
Oh, no.
And guess who decides to make a surprise appearance?
Uh-oh. Who is it?
The Thunderdogs are back with a vengeance.
Oh, no.
And now Valen and his crew are trapped inside this station,
Wow.
outnumbered and outgunned.
But remember what we said about Valen's resourcefulness?
Yeah,
He's not the kind of guy who gives up easily.
right.
He's always looking for an angle,
Uh-huh.
a way out.
Yeah.
And this time,
Yeah.
it involves some seriously creative use
Okay.
of the station's maintenance tunnels.
I'm dying to know what he does next.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Let's take a quick pause to catch our breath,
Okay.
and then we'll dive into the second act of this chapter where things get even wilder.
Can't wait. So, Valen and his crew
Yeah,
just found themselves cornered by the Thunderdogs.
right.
Now remember,
Uh-huh.
they didn't just barely escape that research station. They escaped with the Key of Solace.
Oh, right.
And that's where things get even more interesting.
You're telling me the Key of Solace isn't just some simple key.
Right.
Activating it, it doesn't just unlock a door.
Okay.
It unleashes this holographic map
Oh, wow.
showing them the location of the rift and a hidden gate builder stronghold.
Nice.
Talk about a 2-for-1 deal.
Yeah.
It's like finding a treasure map.
Okay.
But the treasure is guarded by something, though we don't know what yet.
Right.
But it can't be good.
It really raises the stakes.
Yeah.
Suddenly, Valen isn't just trying to survive.
Right.
He's got this incredible opportunity, this
Yeah.
responsibility
Wow.
to understand the rift
Yeah.
and potentially control it.
Right.
But at the same time, he's being hunted by the Syndicate. And now we've got this mysterious gate builder's stronghold to contend with.
And here's where I get a little nervous. We know next to nothing about the gate builders.
Right.
Who were they? What was their connection to the rift? Were they the ones who built it?
Yeah.
And if they did?
Right. Those are the questions that keep me up at night.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Okay.
The Jovians, with their advanced technology, seemed to be guarding the rift. But they weren't the ones who created it.
Right.
The gate builders, whoever they were, are on a whole other level.
Okay.
And finding their stronghold, that's like stumbling upon an ancient civilization's most closely guarded secrets.
So we've got the location of the rift.
Right.
A potential weapon that could tear apart the galaxy, and a hidden stronghold that could hold the key to understanding it all.
Yeah.
But let's not forget, Winky Kinky and the Thunderdogs are still out there, vowing to hunt Valen down to the ends of the universe. It's like a cosmic game of cat and mouse.
Right.
Except the cat has a fleet of warships, and the mouse is carrying a device that could end all of existence.
You hit the nail on the head.
Right.
There's this constant pressure, this sense of urgency that permeates everything. Valen isn't just racing against time.
Right.
He's racing against forces.
Yeah.
He doesn't fully understand. And every decision he makes could have galaxy-altering consequences.
Speaking of decisions, let's talk about that warning from Captain Varga's hologram.
Right.
Trust no one, not even yourself.
Oh, yeah.
That's gotta be weighing heavily on Valen's mind. Especially now that he's holding the key of solace.
Right.
Imagine the paranoia, the second guessing, the constant fear that your own perceptions might be compromised.
It introduces this element of psychological suspense that's just as gripping as the external threats.
Right.
Valen's already in a dangerous situation. But now he's got to question everything. Everyone, even his own thoughts.
Right.
And the further he goes down this rabbit hole, the less certain he becomes of anything.
And then there's the key of solace itself.
Yeah.
We're starting to realize it's more than just a key. It's like a conduit, a connection to the gate builders and the rift.
Right.
It's almost as if the key itself is guiding Valen, leading him toward his destiny, for better or worse.
It's a classic example of a MacGuffin. An object that drives the plot forward.
Right.
And motivates the characters. But it's also more than that. It's a symbol of power, knowledge, and responsibility.
Right.
Whoever controls the key controls the fate of the galaxy.
And that brings us back to the gate builder stronghold. It's like a giant question mark hanging over everything.
Right.
What will Valen find there? Will it be answers?
Or will it be something far more terrifying?
The stronghold represents a point of no return for Valen. Once he steps inside, there's no turning back.
Right.
He's committed to uncovering the truth, no matter the cost. And we as readers are right there with him, eager to see what lies beyond the veil of secrets.
All right, so we've got a lone hero on a desperate mission. A powerful artifact that holds the key.
At Wix, the decorating event is now on. Create a space you love with paint, paneling, doors, wallpaper, flooring, and more. Shop now and feel as proud as a peacock with Wix.
To saving or destroying the galaxy, a hidden stronghold that could hold ancient secrets and a relentless enemy hot on their trail. It's like a cosmic thriller with the fate of the universe hanging in the balance.
And that's the beauty of the Lone Capsuleer series. It keeps you guessing, keeps you on the edge of your seat, and makes you question everything you thought you knew about the galaxy. Before we delve into the final act of Chapter 18, I have to ask you, what are your theories about the gate builders and the rift? What do you think Valen will find at their stronghold? And more importantly, do you think he'll be able to control the power he's unleashed?
These are questions we'll explore further
Okay.
in the final part of our
Okay.
deep dive.
Sounds good.
But for now, let's shift our focus
Okay.
to the immediate threat.
Right.
The Thunderdogs.
Yeah.
Valen's escape from the research station was impressive, but it's only a temporary reprieve.
Okay.
Winky Kinky is relentless.
Right.
And he's not going to give up easily.
So how does Valen outmaneuver a fleet of warships while simultaneously trying to uncover the secrets of the rift?
Right.
Let's find out. So we left off with Valen and his crew facing some serious dilemmas.
How to outrun the Thunderdogs.
Yeah.
How to unlock the secrets of the Key of Solace. And how to deal with the looming threat
Okay.
of the Gate Builder stronghold.
Great.
Talk about pressure.
It's almost like he's juggling chainsaws
Yeah.
while riding a unicycle on a tightrope.
Right.
One wrong move, and everything comes crashing down.
And let's not forget Captain Vargo's warning.
Oh, yeah?
Trust no one.
Yeah.
Not even yourself.
Right.
Echoing in his ears. How do you even begin to process that? It would make anyone paranoid.
Right.
Especially when you're dealing with forces that could potentially destroy the galaxy.
That psychological element is what makes this chapter so compelling. Valen's not just fighting external enemies, he's fighting his own doubts and fears. It's a battle that's just as intense, if not more so, than any space battle.
And as if things weren't complicated enough.
The Key of Solace reveals another piece of the puzzle. Remember, it showed Valen, the location of the rift, and the Gate Builder stronghold.
Right.
Well, it also contains a hidden message.
Oh, wow.
A warning about the true nature of the rift.
This is where the story takes a really interesting turn.
Okay.
We've been assuming that the rift is a gateway, a portal to another place, maybe even another dimension.
Right.
But what if that's not the whole story?
Okay.
What if the rift is something else entirely?
Okay, I'm all ears. What else could it be?
Well, the hidden message suggests that the rift isn't just a doorway, it's a source, a wellspring of something powerful.
Right.
It doesn't just connect places.
Okay.
It connects realities, dimensions, maybe even timelines.
Wow.
And that's why the Jovians were so desperate to seal it. They weren't just afraid of something coming through.
Okay.
They were afraid of something getting out.
Okay, now we're talking cosmic horror on a whole other level.
Right.
So it's not just about what's on the other side of the rift, it's about what the rift itself is capable of.
Exactly.
And that raises a whole new set of questions.
Right.
What is this power source? Who were the gate builders? What were they trying to do with it? And can Valen, with the Key of Solace in hand, control this power? Or will it consume it?
You know, we've been so focused on the threats, the Thunderdogs, the gate builders, the potential for something terrifying coming through the rift, that we haven't really considered the potential for good.
I see what you mean.
What if this power source could be used for something positive?
Okay.
What if it holds the key to solving some of the galaxy's biggest problems?
That's the dilemma at the heart of the story, isn't it?
Yeah.
Valen is faced with an impossible choice.
Right.
Harness this incredible power, knowing the risks, or destroy it.
Yeah.
Potentially losing a chance to do some real good in the galaxy.
It's a decision that could define him, define the future of the galaxy, maybe even define the very fabric of reality.
And here's where chapter 18 leaves us.
Okay.
On the brink of the unknown, Valen, with the Key of Solace and a head full of doubts, is racing toward the Gate Builder stronghold. The Thunderdogs are closing in, and the true nature of the rift remains shrouded in mystery.
It's a cliffhanger that leaves you breathless, desperate to know what happens next.
What's brilliant about this ending is that it doesn't just leave us with questions.
Okay.
It leaves us with possibilities. We're not just waiting to see what happens. We're actively speculating, theorizing, imagining all the potential outcomes.
And that's what makes Lone Capsuleer such a captivating series. It's not just a story. It's an invitation to explore the unknown, to confront our own fears and desires, and to contemplate the vastness of the universe.
Right.
And the mysteries it holds.
And that's what we love about these deep dives.
Yeah.
We get to dissect these stories, these worlds,
Right.
uncover layers of meaning that we might have missed on our own.
Exactly.
It's like having a conversation with a friend, sharing theories, debating interpretations,
Right.
and expanding our understanding of the story and ourselves.
So as we wrap up this deep dive
Okay.
into chapter 18 of The Lone Capsuleer, The Veil of Secrets,
Right.
we want to leave you with this.
Right.
What would you do
Yeah.
if you were in Valen's shoes? Would you open the rift,
Yeah.
knowing the potential dangers?
Right.
Would you trust yourself
Yeah.
with that kind of power?
That's a tough one.
Think about it. And maybe we'll explore those questions
Okay.
in our next deep dive
Right.
into the Lone Capsuleer universe.
Sounds good.
Until then, keep exploring, keep questioning,
Right.
and never stop searching for the truth,
Okay.
no matter how strange
Yeah.
or terrifying it might be.
I like it. Until next time.
Wherever you find it, Amazon's got it. Shop now to find thousands of great daily deals on Amazon.
All right, so today we're diving deep into EveOnline, specifically Chapter 5 of The Lone Capsuleer. We're following Valen Cord through the region of Fountain. And this chapter, well, it really throws him into the fire.
Yeah, right from the start, the story throws you right in. Fountain is nullsec, which is, basically the Wild West of EVE.
Oh, okay, yeah.
No laws, no regulations.
Yeah.
It's all about player alliances battling for control. And if you want to survive, you need wits and a quick trigger finger.
That sounds intense.
Definitely.
So Valen and his partner, Eliana, they warp right into this hornet's nest. And the first thing he says is, cloak up. It definitely sets a tense mood.
Oh, for sure. It really highlights that constant danger in nullsec. It's like you walk into a room, right, and every shadow could be an enemy waiting to pounce. That's what Valen and Eliana are dealing with. And needing to cloak up right away, well, it tells us Valen's not some clueless newbie.
He's been around.
He knows how to survive in this cutthroat place.
Yeah, he's cautious, but the story also mentions them using safe spots and avoiding predictable routes. Is that common practice for nullsec?
Oh, absolutely. See, in a place where anyone can attack you, being predictable is it's like painting a target on your back. Experienced players, they use all sorts of tricks to avoid detection. Safe spots are like hitting nooks where you can disappear for a bit.
Okay.
And warping in unpredictable patterns, that makes it harder for enemies to track you.
Wow, it sounds exhausting, just constantly being on guard like that.
You gotta be on your toes.
Yeah.
It's definitely not for everyone, but it's what makes EVE so interesting. I mean, some players thrive on that constant tension,
Right.
the thrill of outsmarting their opponents. Others, well, they prefer the safer areas of space.
Yeah.
But Valen, he's definitely the former, He likes the challenge, the risk.
Definitely a risk taker. And speaking of risk, let's talk about the faction spawn. That's where things really kick off. So, can you explain to our listeners what makes these encounters so special?
Well, imagine you stumble upon a treasure chest. It's guarded by a dragon,
All right.
except in EVE, the dragon's a super-powered NPC. And the treasure, some of the most valuable loot you can find.
Whoa.
Faction spawns drop these incredibly powerful modules, components, and blueprints.
Okay, so high risk, high reward.
Exactly. And this is where Valen's risk-taking nature really shows. He sees this spawn, and it's like an opportunity he can't miss, even though it puts him in even more danger.
Yeah, even Eliana seems hesitant about it. Do you think Valen is, being reckless here?
That's a good question. And it's what makes EVE so compelling. You have that constant push and pull between caution and ambition. Valen, he's obviously driven by the potential reward, but he's also weighing the risks. He's making a calculated gamble.
It's like, will he win big or lose it all?
Exactly. And the story really captures that feeling of danger and excitement.
So Valen decides to go for it. He engages the faction spawn. What happens next?
Well, they manage to take it down, but just as they're celebrating, bam, they get that dreaded notification. Scanned.
Uh-oh.
Someone's found them. And it's not just any player. It's Dark Bliss, He's infamous in Fountain, a real hunter.
Okay, hold on. For those of us who aren't familiar with EVE's open world PvP, can you explain what it means to be scanned?
Okay, imagine you're driving down a dark road at night. Suddenly a spotlight hits your car. That's basically being scanned in EVE. Players use special modules to pinpoint your location. And in nullsec, that's practically a declaration of war.
So Valen and Eliana, they're sitting ducks now, with Dark Bliss closing in.
Yeah, and to make matters worse, Dark Bliss doesn't come alone. He brings a whole fleet. And they quickly trap Valen and Eliana in a warp disruption bubble.
A warp disruption bubble? That sounds terrifying. What does that even do?
Think of it this way. Your escape route, the ability to warp away, it's gone. You're stuck, completely vulnerable. It's one of the most effective ways to trap someone in EVE.
So they're basically trapped with this fleet bearing down on them. Talk about a cliffhanger. I mean, that's what gets me about EVE, you know?
Yeah.
Even just hearing about it's so gripping. The way the story builds that tension, you feel trapped. It's like a space thriller.
Oh yeah, it's how the game's designed EVE. It isn't just about spaceships, it's about these stories that just happen. You know,
Yeah.
player choices really matter. In this encounter with Dark Bliss, it's like personalities clashing. It's a test of skill and strategy. And the stakes are so high, because when you lose a ship in EVE, it's gone.
Yeah, that's what a lot of games don't get right. You can't just respawn. Here, every loss means something. Resources, reputation, everything.
Exactly. Every fight becomes a calculated risk. Do you play it safe, or do you go for it and risk losing everything? That's what Valen's dealing with. It's happening all the time in EVE.
So he just got this awesome loot from the spawn, but now he might lose it all, plus his ship to Dark Bliss. It's like winning the lottery and then getting mugged on the way home.
That's a good one. It really shows you the pressure in nullsec cut and run, or hold on to your prize and risk it all. That's the choice.
Knowing Valen, he won't back down easily. He seems to pull off the impossible.
And that's where the story gets really interesting. Instead of giving up, Valen escapes. He gets his ship out of the warp disruption bubble.
With Compare the Market, you can take the guesswork out of applying for a credit card. Isn't that right, Otto Sergey?
I can check your chance of approval without affecting your credit score.
You could say Otto Sergey helps you play your credit cards right.
Initiating laughter mode. Ha ha ha.
Just make it simple with our best deals on credit cards. So Compare the Market.
Compare the Market Limited acts as a credit broker, not lender. Credit is subject to status, UK residents and 18 plus only.
It takes serious skill.
Wait, you can do that, escape a bubble. I thought they were inescapable.
Most people think that, but there are ways to get around it. Especially if you're good like Valen. It's about knowing how the bubble works, timing your moves just right, and knowing your ship inside and out.
So it's not just luck. It's about knowing the game and having the reflexes to actually do it, under pressure.
Exactly. It shows how experienced Valen is. And you can almost feel Dark Bliss getting frustrated in local chat as Valen and Eliana vanish.
Local chat, you mentioned that before, but what is it exactly?
Oh, it's like a public channel where everyone in the system can talk to each other. A constant stream of info, trash talk, you name it. Imagine fighting someone while they're bragging and taunting you in a public chat.
Whoa, that adds a whole other level to it. It's not just flying, it's a mind game too.
Yeah, that's part of what makes EVE unique. Your words can be as powerful as your weapons.
So Valen escapes the bubble, he's gone. But he's not safe yet, right?
Not at all. Dark Bliss is angry, he's lost face, and he wants Valen no matter what. And remember, Valen's got that valuable loot from the spawn.
So the loot is almost a curse now, it's attracting more danger.
Right, the bigger the reward, the bigger the risk. And in EVE, that risk often comes from other players who want the same things you do.
But Valen uses a filament to get away. What are those? How do they work? I'm not familiar with EVE's travel system.
Okay, imagine cosmic hopscotch. Each jump takes you to a random spot on the board. It's filaments. They're like temporary wormholes. You travel instantly, but you don't know where you'll end up.
Sounds risky.
It is. Filaments are great for escaping, but you could end up somewhere even worse. It's a gamble, but Valen seems to like those.
EVE combines so many things. Flying skill, strategy, mind games, even luck.
That's why it's so interesting. Even if you haven't played, it's like a virtual world, but it has real world problems. You need skill, strategy, and a little luck to succeed.
Valen and Eliana got away from Dark Bliss for now, at least. But they're still in nullsec, surrounded by danger. So what does it take to actually survive there? Is it all about being a good pilot? Knowing all the mechanics?
Those are important, sure, but there's something else. A kind of sixth sense that experienced players develop. It's situational awareness, always watching, listening for any sign of trouble.
Like a space detective, looking for clues to stay one step ahead.
Right. You watch local chat, you check intel from your corporation, and you learn to recognize ships, movements, anything that might mean trouble. Information is key in nullsec. The more you know, the safer you are.
Valen's good at that. Always seems to know what's coming. Is that just instinct? Or is there a certain way of thinking that helps in nullsec?
It's a bit of both. Experience helps. And some people are just drawn to that kind of high-risk, high-reward situation. They do well under pressure.
I don't know if I could handle it. Sounds stressful. But there's something exciting about it, too. Pushing your limits.
That's what's great about EVE. It has something for everyone. Some people like the safe areas, doing trading or mining. But others, like Valen, they want the challenge. The bigger the risk, the bigger the reward.
It's like real life, right? Some people play it safe, others go all in.
Exactly. And in EVE, those choices matter. Every decision you make changes your game.
Like Valen, Chapter 5. Taking that risk to get the loot, then having to fight to keep it. It's all connected.
It shows that even the best players need some luck. Sometimes things go your way, sometimes they don't. It's how you deal with that that makes you successful.
I have to say, learning about EVE, it's more than just spaceships. It's psychology, strategy, luck. It's really complex.
Definitely. Valen's story is just one small part of EVE. There are so many others waiting to be told, full of adventure, danger, and people trying to make their fortune.
Well, that wraps up our deep dive into Chapter 5 of the Lone Capsuleer. We went into nullsec, saw a daring escape, and learned what it takes to survive in EVE Online. But here's something to think about. Could someone like Valen exist in real life? What kind of person thrives in those high-stakes situations where every decision matters? Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and remember, whether it's virtual or real, the universe is full of possibilities for those who are brave enough to take them.
Wherever you find it, Amazon's got it. Shop now to find thousands of great daily deals on Amazon.
All right, everyone get ready, because today we are going deep into Chapter 9 of Paste to Text.
Ooh, Chapter 9.
Yeah, this is a good one.
Yeah.
Valen and Eliana are protagonists. They're on the run from Dark Bliss and his elite force, the Thunderdogs.
Yep.
Buckle up, because we got wormholes, daring escapes, an epic showdown. You are not going to want to miss this.
It's wild. It picks up right where Chapter 8 left off, throws Valen and Eliana straight from the frying pan into the fire. They just finished this dangerous mission, got these valuable relics and schematics from this mysterious region called Jovian Space, trying to make it back to their base. Now, but they're stranded right in enemy territory. And Dark Bliss, he is not going to let them get away with those treasures. No way.
So these relics,
Yes.
What makes them so valuable? That Dark Bliss would unleash like his best guys, Thunderdogs, to retrieve them.
Well, we don't know all the details yet, but these relics, these schematics, they're not just trinkets. Something about them. Some kind of power or knowledge that makes them incredibly dangerous in the wrong hands. And, you know, Dark Bliss, you know he's not after them for their historical value.
Absolutely not.
He's got plans.
So speaking of the Thunderdogs, they sound like a force to be reckoned with. Give us the lowdown. Who are these guys?
Oh, yeah.
What makes them so formidable?
So the Thunderdogs, they're Dark Bliss's, like, elite strike force. They're Catsierers.
Right.
Highly skilled pilots. Advanced tech. Incredible combat abilities.
Yeah.
Known for getting the job done, no matter the cost. And they're led by this capsuleer named Winky Kinky.
Winky Kinky.
This guy, let me tell you, bad news. Imagine like a seasoned space commander, years of experience, ruthless streak, a mile wide.
Yeah.
That's Winky Kinky.
Yeah.
He's not playing around.
Wow. So Valen and Eliana, facing some serious competition. No wonder they're desperate to shake off these Thunderdogs. How do they even begin to escape when they're outnumbered and potentially outgunned?
Yeah, this is where Valen's strategic brilliance comes in. He knows they can't win a head-to-head fight.
Right.
So he uses every trick in the book to stay one step ahead. And remember, capsuleers have access to some incredible tech. Cloaking devices.
Oh, right.
They can basically become invisible, making it much harder for the Thunderdogs to track them.
Yeah.
It's tense.
Yeah.
Cat and mouse game. Valen and Eliana using those cloaking devices and the natural cover of celestial bodies to stay hidden.
Yeah.
Asteroids. Nebulas.
Oh, yeah.
Anything they can use to break line of sight. Make themselves harder to detect.
Like a cosmic game of hide and seek.
Exactly.
With the highest stakes imaginable.
Yeah.
But they can't hide forever.
Nope.
They're bound to run into trouble eventually. And it sounds like Winky Kinky himself is ready to throw down. What happens when they finally come face to face?
Right. So picture this, right? You're Valen and Eliana. You're navigating through this asteroid field.
Yeah.
Trying to keep your cloaking devices active, avoid detection.
Right.
Suddenly, out of nowhere, Winky Kinky intercepts them, commanding this Vagabond-class heavy assault cruiser.
Hold on. Vagabond-class heavy assault cruiser?
Yeah.
That sounds pretty intimidating.
Oh, yeah.
Break it down for us. What kind of firepower?
So this is like a flying tank.
Okay.
Designed to dish out punishment and take a beating. Layers of armor, multiple turret mounts,
Yeah.
a whole arsenal of missiles. Plus it has advanced modules that can boost its shields, jam enemy sensors, even warp short distances.
Oh, wow.
You do not want to be on the receiving end of that kind of firepower.
I can only imagine. So Valen, in a ship, probably nowhere near as powerful as this cruiser.
So we don't know anything about Valen's ship.
Oh, that's right.
A part of the intrigue.
Yeah, okay.
But he pulls off this seriously risky maneuver.
Okay.
Uses a slingshot tactic.
Yeah.
Aligns his ship with a distant celestial body, planet or a large asteroid. And then he overloads his micro-warp drive.
Wait, a micro warp drive overload? What does that even mean?
So think of it as like pushing his ship's engine beyond its limits for this short burst of speed.
Okay.
It's dangerous, but it can create a sudden, unpredictable surge of acceleration.
Wow.
He uses that burst of speed to throw himself out of Winky Kinky's firing range.
Oh, wow.
Creates just enough space to land a few critical hits on the Vagabond shields.
Okay, so some seriously impressive piloting. I'm starting to understand why Valen has such a reputation. But taking a few shots at Winky Kinky's ship, that doesn't win the battle, does it? Especially with the rest of the Thunderdogs closing in.
Exactly. And that's what makes this next part even more tense. They've shaken Winky Kinky and his Dagobond. That's no small feat.
Yeah.
But they're still surrounded
Right.
by the rest of the Thunderdogs.
Ugh. It's like they escaped one predator, only to find themselves in a den of wolves.
Exactly.
What happens next? Do they manage to find a way out of this mess?
Well, this is where Valen and Eliana, they got to make a truly desperate gamble. They're cornered. Every escape route is blocked by those Thunderdogs.
Right.
So their only option is to find a wormhole.
A wormhole. Okay, so wormholes in this universe, they're like unstable cosmic shortcuts, right? They can lead to like unknown regions of space.
Yeah, and they can collapse at any moment.
Oh, jeez.
Risky move. But they don't have any other choice.
So this wormhole idea, like it kind of makes me think of those old sci-fi movies.
Right.
Where they jump into hyperspace to escape danger.
Yeah.
But it never seems to go quite as smoothly as planned, does it?
Never.
Are there any clues as to where this wormhole might lead them?
Nope.
Or is this like a complete shot in the dark?
It's terrifying. They're literally leaping into the unknown.
Wow.
And to make matters worse, the wormhole they find, it's unstable, could collapse on them mid-journey, stranded in the vastness of space. Talk about a leap of faith.
Okay, so they take the plunge.
They got it.
They're hoping for the best. Where does this unpredictable wormhole spit them out?
All right, so this is where Chapter 9 takes a really fascinating turn. The wormhole deposits them in this region, called Jovian Inner Space.
Jovian Inner Space, okay.
It's unlike anything they've ever encountered before.
What is it like?
So imagine swirling nebulas, like shifting colors.
Yeah.
Ancient structures, they seem to defy the laws of physics. And this sense of vastness, it's awe-inspiring and a little bit terrifying.
It sounds incredible, but also incredibly dangerous.
Yeah.
And remember, they're still carrying those mysterious relics.
Right.
What role do these relics play in this new uncharted territory?
Well, as soon as they arrive in Jovian Inner Space, one of the relics, it activates.
Oh,
and it projects this star map. Doesn't correspond to any known system. It's as if the relic itself is guiding them, leading them deeper into this unknown region.
Hold on. The relic is guiding them. Okay, that sends chills down my spine. What if they're not just running from dark bliss anymore?
It's a good question.
What if they've stumbled onto something much bigger, connected to these ancient relics in this mysterious Jovian inner space?
It's exactly the question that starts to haunt Valen and Eliana. They came to Jovian space looking for valuable relics. Now they're being drawn into this mystery they don't fully understand.
Right.
It's like the relics have chosen them, for some unknown purpose.
And just to add another layer of tension to the mix, we can't forget about Dark Bliss.
Right, of course not.
He's not exactly the kind of guy to just give up. especially when he's been outsmarted. Does he manage to track them down even after they disappear into this unstable wormhole?
Oh, Dark Bliss. He does not give up easy. He sends this chilling message through the local communication channel. Makes it very clear he's not letting them disappear so easily. Imagine you're Valen. Just escape through this unstable wormhole. Suddenly your comms crackle to life. Dark Bliss's voice says, "You can run cord, but there's nowhere in this universe you can hide. The Thunderdogs are coming."
That's a terrifying promise, and it leaves us with a serious cliffhanger. Valen and Eliana are stranded in this mysterious region of space, guided by a relic they don't fully understand, with a relentless enemy hot on their trail. What are your initial thoughts on where this story might be heading? What kind of dangers might be lurking in the depths of Jovian inner space? And will Valen and Eliana be able to survive them?
I mean, this chapter, it takes what was a thrilling chase and throws this cosmic curveball. Now it's a journey into the unknown, a quest to uncover the secrets of these relics and this Jovian inner space. And with Dark Bliss and the Thunderdogs still on the hunt, the stakes are higher than ever. It makes you think, are Valen and Eliana in control of their own destiny? Or are they pawns in some larger game they haven't even begun to comprehend?
Valen and Eliana have stepped right into the heart of some ancient mystery, and they're being pulled along for the ride. We've gone from a desperate escape to a cosmic treasure hunt, with a healthy dose of what's gonna jump out from behind that nebula suspense? What were some of the key takeaways from this chapter that really stood out to you?
This chapter throws a lot at us, but what strikes me the most, I think, is the author's ability to create a sense of escalating tension, while simultaneously expanding the scope of the story. Each encounter, each revelation, it pulls Valen and Eliana deeper into this conflict, while also raising the stakes and hinting at something much larger at play.
It really makes you wonder what exactly they've gotten themselves into. They risked everything to recover these relics, but now they're being led deeper into this uncharted territory by forces they don't understand.
What do you think is driving Valen and Eliana at this point? Is it survival, curiosity, something else entirely?
That's a great question. And I think it gets to the heart of what makes these characters so compelling. Initially, it was all about survival. They were running for their lives, trying to outmaneuver Dark Bliss and his forces.
Right.
But now, with the relic activating, leading them into this mysterious Jovian inner space, I think a sense of purpose is starting to emerge.
Maybe they're starting to feel like they're not just running anymore. They're being guided towards something.
Yeah.
And that can be a powerful motivator.
I'm also curious about Dark Bliss's motivations. We know he wants those relics. But what exactly is he planning to do with them? Is he just after power, or is there something more sinister at play? We only get that chilling message from him, but it doesn't reveal much about his endgame.
Yeah, Dark Bliss is a fascinating antagonist because he's shrouded in mystery. We know he's ruthless, powerful, but his true goals remain unclear. And that makes him even more frightening.
Oh, for sure.
Makes him even more frightening. Is he after ancient knowledge? Is he trying to unlock some forbidden technology? Or is he simply driven by greed and ambition?
Yeah.
Those unanswered questions make him a very formidable and intriguing adversary.
This chapter leaves us with so many unanswered questions, but that's what makes it such a great hook. It makes you want to dive right into the next chapter and see what happens next. Will Valen and Eliana uncover the secrets of the relic? What new dangers will they encounter in Jovian inner space? And will they finally outmaneuver Dark Bliss and his relentless Thunderdogs?
It's a perfect blend of action, mystery, and world building. And I think this deep dive has really highlighted the intricate world the author has created, the strategic depth of the space combat, and the compelling character dynamics that make pasted text such a captivating story.
It's definitely a wild ride, and I'm hooked. If you're a fan of sci-fi, especially stories with a space opera feel, you definitely need to check this out. And if you've already started reading, well, let's just say this chapter throws a major wrench into the works and sets the stage for some truly epic adventures.
I couldn't agree more. It's a game changer. And it raises this crucial question for Valen and Eliana. Are they in control of their destiny? Or are they simply pawns in a larger game they don't fully understand? That's something to ponder as we eagerly await the next chapter in this thrilling adventure.
It's a question we can all ask ourselves, even outside the realm of science fiction. Are we charting our own course? Or are there forces, seen or unseen, that shape our paths? It's a thought-provoking concept that adds another layer of depth to this already captivating story.
Well said. And sometimes the most compelling journeys are the ones we don't fully understand.
That's a great way to put it. We'll have to leave our listeners with that thought as we wrap up our deep dive into Chapter 9 of Pasted Text. We've explored a lot today, from daring escapes and intense space battles to mysterious relics and the wonders of Jovian inner space. But one thing is for sure, this story is far from over.
And we'll be here to dive into the next chapter when you're ready.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep diving deep into the worlds that fascinate you. We'll see you on the next deep dive. All right, ready to jump back into the Lone Capsuleer.
Oh, yeah.
Today, we're going to crack open Chapter 18,
Okay.
The Veil of Secrets.
Nice.
If you've been following Valen King's adventures, you know that things are about to get intense.
Oh, yeah. For
We've got ancient mysteries,
Yeah.
a galaxy-level threat. But the real question,
Okay.
are we about to step outside the bounds of known space and encounter something truly alien?
It's interesting, this chapter
Yeah.
doesn't just throw Valen into another firefight. It ratchets up the tension on a bigger scale.
Right.
Like the decisions he makes now
Okay.
could impact, well, everything.
Exactly.
The whole nag of
exactly.
it.
And remember, we've got Valen, Aliana, and their new ally, Kale.
Right.
They're searching for the Rift,
Yeah.
which is this mysterious gateway that could tear the galaxy apart.
Right.
They're not just trying to find it, though.
Okay.
They're trying to understand it, maybe even control it before someone else does.
I see. Yeah.
And that's where this ancient data module comes in.
Okay.
Remember they recovered it a while back?
Yeah.
And Eliana finally cracked the encryption.
Oh, wow.
And this isn't just any old code. We're talking Jovian military-grade encryption.
Okay.
The kind that makes modern security systems look like child's play.
Oh, wow. That's intense.
If the Jovians were using this level of encryption, what were they trying to hide?
Yeah.
Makes you think that maybe the Rift is more than just some scientific anomaly.
Okay.
What if it was something they built? Or at least something they were trying to control?
Yeah, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Right.
And the data module holds the answer.
Okay.
Or at least part of it
Right.
when they activate it.
Yeah.
A hologram of Captain Elias Varga appears.
Oh, wow.
And he drops some serious truth bombs.
Okay.
First of all,
Yeah.
the Rift isn't just a tear in space. It's a controlled anomaly.
Okay.
Something came through it.
Yeah.
Something that forced them to seal it off to protect humanity.
Right.
Second,
Yeah.
that seal is weakening,
Oh, no.
which is bad news on a galactic scale.
I can only imagine. So at this point, you're probably thinking, who are these Jovians?
Right.
And why should I care?
Yeah.
Well, think of them as the ancient guardians of the galaxy.
Okay.
Super advanced and mysterious.
All right.
And this Captain Varga,
Yeah.
he's like their last message in a bottle,
I see.
warning us about something terrifying.
Right.
He also tells them to find the key of solace,
Okay.
the only way to control the Rift, and warns them not to trust anyone,
Oh, wow.
not even themselves.
Oh, that's creepy.
Chills, right?
Yeah.
It really adds this whole layer of paranoia and uncertainty. It makes you wonder,
Yeah.
who's the real enemy here?
Yep.
Is it something on the other side of the Rift? Or is it something closer to home?
Okay.
Maybe even within Valen himself?
Yeah.
And just as things couldn't get more complicated,
Right.
Valen and his crew arrive in what's supposed to be
Okay.
an empty star system,
Uh-huh.
according to their charts. Anyway, it turns out it's anything but empty. They find themselves facing down a syndicate fleet,
Oh.
and leading the charge
Okay.
is none other than Winky Kinky
Oh, no, not Winky.
of the Thunder Dogs.
Right.
You know, the guy with the flamboyant name and an even bigger chip on his shoulder.
Oh, man. So this encounter really highlights the fact
Yeah.
that Valen's constantly in danger.
Right.
He's a wanted man.
Uh-huh.
And no matter where he goes,
Yeah.
enemies seem to pop up,
Right.
like spacefaring whack-a-moles.
And Winky, true to form,
Okay.
demands Valen's surrender.
Oh, wow.
But Valen never want to back down. Just throw some taunts right back at him.
Oh, man.
It's like watching a cosmic game of chicken.
Yeah.
Except the stakes are a little higher
Right.
than just bruised egos.
For sure. This clash between Valen and Winky goes beyond just a rivalry.
Okay.
It represents two different ways of surviving in this cutthroat galaxy.
Yeah.
Valen relies on his wit and adaptability, while Winky relies on brute force and intimidation.
Okay.
Classic battle between brains and brawn.
Yeah.
But in this case, both are armed with spaceships and enough firepower to level a planet.
And speaking of firepower, what follows is a full-on space battle in an asteroid field.
Nice.
It's like something straight out of a holofilm, with Valen pulling some serious maverick moves, using the asteroids for cover, and even cloaking the Javelin's edge to escape.
Wow.
Now, the fact that Valen can cloak his ship in the middle of a battle tells you something about the technology he has access to.
Right.
It's not just about fancy gadgets. It's about staying one step ahead. About using every advantage you can get when the galaxy's trying to kill you.
I see. Valen's use of the asteroid field goes beyond just fancy flying. It speaks to his tactical mind, his ability to assess a situation and exploit its weaknesses. He's not just reacting, he's thinking, planning, and adapting. It's this kind of strategic thinking that sets him apart.
Eventually, they managed to shake off the Thunderdogs and reach their destination, a hidden research station, seemingly abandoned and derelict. They're hoping this is where they'll find the Key of Solace. And against all odds, they do.
Nice.
But as soon as they lay hands on it, alarms start blaring.
Oh no.
And guess who decides to make a surprise appearance?
Who is it?
The Thunderdogs are back. With a vengeance.
Oh no.
And now Valen and his crew are trapped inside this station.
Wow.
Outnumbered and outgunned.
But remember what we said about Valen's resourcefulness?
Yeah.
He's not the kind of guy who gives up easily.
Right.
He's always looking for an angle, a way out.
Yeah.
And this time, it involves some seriously creative use of the station's maintenance tunnels.
I'm dying to know what he does next.
Oh yeah, me too.
Well, let's take a quick pause to catch our breath.
Okay.
And then we'll dive into the second act of this chapter where things get even wilder.
Can't wait. So, Valen and his crew just found themselves cornered by the Thunderdogs.
Right.
Now remember, they didn't just barely escape that research station. They escaped with the Key of Solace.
Oh, right.
And that's where things get even more interesting.
You're telling me the Key of Solace isn't just some simple key.
Right.
Activating it, it doesn't just unlock a door.
Okay.
It unleashes this holographic map.
Oh, wow.
Showing them the location of the rift and a hidden gate builder stronghold.
Nice.
Talk about a 2-for-1 deal.
Yeah.
It's like finding a treasure map.
Okay.
But the treasure is guarded by something, though we don't know what yet.
Right.
But it can't be good.
It really raises the stakes.
Yeah.
Suddenly, Valen isn't just trying to survive.
Right.
He's got this incredible opportunity, this responsibility to understand the rift and potentially control it.
Right.
But at the same time, he's being hunted by the Syndicate. And now we've got this mysterious gate builder stronghold to contend with.
And here's where I get a little nervous. We know next to nothing about the gate builders.
Right.
Who were they? What was their connection to the rift? Were they the ones who built it?
Yeah.
And if they did?
Right. Those are the questions that keep me up at night.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Okay.
The Jovians, with their advanced technology, seemed to be guarding the rift. But they weren't the ones who created it.
Right.
The gate builders, whoever they were, are on a whole other level.
Okay.
And finding their stronghold, that's like stumbling upon an ancient civilization's most closely guarded secrets.
Okay. So we've got the location of the rift.
Right.
A potential weapon that could tear apart the galaxy, and a hidden stronghold that could hold the key to understanding it all.
Yeah.
But let's not forget, Winky Kinky and the Thunderdogs are still out there.
Oh, yeah.
Vowing to hunt Valen down to the ends of the universe. It's like a cosmic game of cat and mouse.
Right.
Except the cat has a fleet of warships, and the mouse is carrying a device that could end all of existence.
You hit the nail on the head.
Right.
There's this constant pressure,
Yeah.
this sense of urgency that permeates everything.
Okay.
Valen isn't just racing against time.
Right.
He's racing against forces
Yeah.
he doesn't fully understand.
Yeah.
And every decision he makes could have galaxy-altering consequences.
Speaking of decisions,
Okay.
let's talk about that warning from Captain Varga's hologram.
Right.
Trust no one, not even yourself.
Oh, yeah.
That's gotta be weighing heavily on Valen's mind,
Yeah.
especially now that he's holding the key of solace.
Right.
Imagine the paranoia, the second guessing,
Yeah.
the constant fear that your own perceptions
Right.
might be compromised.
It introduces this element of psychological suspense
Yes.
that's just as gripping as the external threats.
Right.
Valen's already in a dangerous situation, but now he's got to question everything.
Yeah.
Everyone, even his own thoughts.
Right.
And the further he goes down this rabbit hole,
Okay.
the less certain he becomes of anything.
And then there's the key of solace itself.
Yeah.
We're starting to realize it's more than just a key. It's
Okay.
like a conduit, a connection to the gate builders and the rift.
Right.
It's almost as if the key itself
Okay.
is guiding Valen,
Yeah.
leading him toward his destiny, for better or worse.
It's a classic example of a MacGuffin,
Yeah,
an object that drives the plot forward
right.
and motivates the characters. But it's also more than that.
Okay.
It's a symbol of power,
Yeah.
knowledge, and responsibility.
Right.
Whoever controls the key controls the fate of the galaxy.
And that brings us back
Okay.
to the gate builder stronghold.
Yeah.
It's like a giant question mark hanging over everything.
Right.
What will Valen find there? Will it be answers?
Yeah. Or will it be something far more terrifying?
The stronghold represents a point of no return for Valen.
Okay.
Once he steps inside, there's no turning back.
Right.
He's committed to uncovering the truth, no matter the cost. And we as readers are right there with him,
Okay.
eager to see what lies beyond the veil of secrets.
All right, so we've got a lone hero on a desperate mission,
Yeah.
a powerful artifact that holds the key to saving or destroying the galaxy.
Okay.
A hidden stronghold
Yeah.
that could hold ancient secrets
Right.
and a relentless enemy hot on their trail. It's like a cosmic thriller
Yeah.
with the fate of the universe
Right.
hanging in the balance.
And that's the beauty of the Lone Capsuleer series. It keeps you guessing, keeps you on the edge of your seat,
Yeah.
and makes you question everything you thought you knew about the galaxy. Before we delve into the final act of Chapter 18, I have to ask you,
Yeah.
what are your theories
Okay.
about the gate builders and the rift? What do you think Valen will find at their stronghold? And more importantly,
Okay.
do you think he'll be able to control the power he's unleashed?
These are questions we'll
Yeah.
explore further
Okay.
in the final part of our
Okay.
deep dive.
Sounds good.
But for now, let's shift our focus
Okay.
to the immediate threat.
Right.
The Thunderdogs.
Yeah.
Valen's escape from the research station was impressive, but it's only a temporary reprieve.
Okay.
Winky Kinky is relentless.
Right.
And he's not going to give up easily.
So how does Valen outmaneuver a fleet of warships while simultaneously trying to uncover the secrets of the rift?
Right.
Let's find out. So we left off with Valen and his crew facing some serious dilemmas.
How to outrun the Thunderdogs.
Yeah.
How to unlock the secrets of the Key of Solace. And how to deal with the looming threat
Okay.
of the Gate Builder stronghold.
Right.
Talk about pressure.
It's almost like he's juggling chainsaws
Yeah.
while riding a unicycle on a tightrope.
Right.
One wrong move, and everything comes crashing down.
And let's not forget Captain Varga's warning.
Oh, yeah?
Trust no one.
Yeah.
Not even yourself.
Right.
Echoing in his ears. How do you even begin to process that? It would make anyone paranoid.
Right.
Especially when you're dealing with forces that could potentially destroy the galaxy.
That psychological element is what makes this chapter so compelling. Valen's not just fighting external enemies, he's fighting his own doubts and fears. It's a battle that's just as intense, if not more so, than any space battle.
And as if things weren't complicated enough.
The Key of Solace reveals another piece of the puzzle. Remember, it showed Valen, the location of the rift, and the Gate Builder stronghold.
Right.
Well, it also contains a hidden message.
Oh, wow.
A warning about the true nature of the rift.
This is where the story takes a really interesting turn.
Okay.
We've been assuming that the rift is a gateway, a portal to another place.
Yeah.
Maybe even another dimension.
Right.
But what if that's not the whole story?
Okay.
What if the rift is something else entirely?
Okay, I'm all ears. What else could it be?
Well, the hidden message suggests that the rift isn't just a doorway, it's a source, a wellspring of something powerful.
Right.
It doesn't just connect places.
Okay.
It connects realities, dimensions, maybe even timelines.
Wow.
And that's why the Jovians were so desperate to seal it. They weren't just afraid of something coming through.
Okay.
They were afraid of something getting out.
Okay, now we're talking cosmic horror on a whole other level.
Right.
So it's not just about what's on the other side of the rift, it's about what the rift itself is capable of.
Exactly.
And that raises a whole new set of questions.
Right.
What is this power source? Who were the gate builders? What were they trying to do with it? And can Valen, with the key of solace in hand, control this power? Or will it consume him?
You know, we've been so focused on the threats, the Thunderdogs, the gate builders, the potential for something terrifying coming through the rift, that we haven't really considered the potential for good.
I see what you mean.
What if this power source could be used for something positive?
Okay.
What if it holds the key to solving some of the galaxy's biggest problems?
That's the dilemma at the heart of the story, isn't it?
Yeah.
Valen is faced with an impossible choice.
Right.
Harness this incredible power, knowing the risks, or destroy it.
Yeah.
Potentially losing a chance to do some real good in the galaxy.
It's a decision that could define him, define the future of the galaxy, maybe even define the very fabric of reality.
And here's where chapter 18 leaves us.
Okay.
On the brink of the unknown, Valen, with the key of solace and a head full of doubts, is racing toward the gate builder's stronghold. The Thunderdogs are closing in, and the true nature of the rift remains shrouded in mystery.
It's a cliffhanger
Yeah.
that leaves you breathless,
Right.
desperate to know what happens next.
What's brilliant about this ending is that it doesn't just leave us with questions.
Okay.
It leaves us with possibilities.
Right.
We're not just waiting to see what happens. Apple, we're actively speculating, theorizing, imagining all the potential outcomes.
And that's what makes The Lone Capsuleer such a captivating series.
Right.
It's not just a story.
Okay.
It's an invitation to explore the unknown, to confront our own fears and desires, and to contemplate the vastness of the universe and the mysteries it holds.
And that's what we love about these deep dives. We get to dissect these stories, these worlds, uncover layers of meaning that we might have missed on our own.
Exactly.
It's like having a conversation with a friend, sharing theories, debating interpretations, and expanding our understanding of the story and ourselves.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into chapter 18 of The Lone Capsuleer, The Veil of Secrets, we want to leave you with this. What would you do if you were in Valen's shoes? Would you open the rift, knowing the potential dangers? Would you trust yourself with that kind of power?
That's a tough one.
Think about it. And maybe we'll explore those questions in our next deep dive into the Lone Capsuleer universe.
Sounds good.
Until then, keep exploring, keep questioning, and never stop searching for the truth. No matter how strange or terrifying it might be.
I like it. Until next time.
Welcome to our deep dive today. It's into Dark Horizon, Echoes of New Eden. And we're going to be looking at excerpts from the first 16 chapters.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, 16 whole chapters. So get ready for some intense space battles, political intrigue, ancient mysteries.
That's exciting.
I know, right?
Oh.
And maybe even a little bit of interdimensional travel.
I love it.
Yeah, me too. I'm already hooked just from reading the first few chapters.
Yeah, and it's really cool how Dark Horizon is set in the EveOnline universe, which is a massive online game.
Right.
And it's known for its complex, player-created stories.
Yeah.
So it really makes you wonder how much of what we're reading is actually drawn from real events in the game.
Right, like how much is fiction and how much is like based on actual things that happen.
Exactly.
It adds like a whole other layer to it.
It does.
Okay, so let's start with our main character.
Okay.
This is Captain Arn Taranis, and she commands the Haven, which is a Charon-class freighter. Now, for those not familiar with EveOnline, Charon-class basically means we're talking about a heavily armored cargo ship.
Okay.
So this thing is designed to haul really valuable goods through dangerous space. So think of it as like a flying fortress.
Ah, I like it.
Right. And it's constantly being upgraded and repaired throughout the story. So it's almost like a character in itself.
Yeah, definitely. And Arnaren is definitely the captain you want when raiders attack, which happens pretty early in the story.
Oh, yeah.
She's very decisive. She uses drones strategically, and she's not afraid to call for backup.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Yeah, a total badass.
And speaking of backup, that's when Commander Kale Rypak enters the scene.
Oh, yeah.
He is an ex-Caldari Navy pilot turned mercenary.
Oh, okay.
And he's got a powerful Rattlesnake-class battleship.
Ooh, nice. Now that's a heavy hitter, even for EVE standards.
All right, I know. So their relationship is something to watch, too, because it goes beyond just business.
Yeah.
You know, there's clearly history there.
Right.
And a level of trust that suggests a deeper connection. And we see that in how their ships, the Haven and then Kale's Rattlesnake, work together to fend off attackers.
They make a good team.
Yeah, they do. They do.
They do.
But the real mystery revolves around the Haven's cargo. This is a prototype that is totally shrouded in secrecy. It's like the ultimate MacGuffin.
I love a good MacGuffin.
Yeah, it drives the plot, it drives everyone's motivations. We've got all the major factions in New Eden, the Amar Empire, the Caldari State, the Minmatar Republic, the Galente Federation. They are all.
Wow, all of them.
All of them.
All vying for this one thing.
Vying for control of this thing.
That's wild.
Which is really interesting because it shows us just how fragile the peace is in this universe.
Yeah, for sure.
Right, like everybody's just waiting for something to tip the scales.
Exactly, yeah.
And so the prototype's purpose keeps evolving as we read.
Yeah.
At first, it seems like, okay, maybe it's a weapon.
Right.
Maybe it's a power source. But then we get hints that connect it to the Drifters, which is a mysterious ancient civilization within EVE.
Okay.
And there's even a suggestion of interdimensional travel.
Whoa, hold on. Back up for a second. Now for our listener, who are the Drifters?
Yeah, so the Drifters are basically like the ancient aliens of EVE. They left behind all this incredible technology. Nobody's really sure what their motives were. So to even hint at a connection between them and this prototype is a really big deal.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and then we get the big reveal.
Okay, what's that?
The prototype can actually control planetary infrastructure.
Whoa, what?
Yeah, like imagine the power to manage resources, communications, even defense systems.
Yeah.
All remotely for an entire planet.
That's not just power, that's like absolute control.
It is.
Wow.
Right, and so the story makes you question, like, who should have that control?
Exactly.
What happens when technology gives somebody that much influence?
Right. And then that brings us to the Haven's journey into Anoikis, otherwise known as wormhole space. So imagine a region of space where you have these stable wormholes that connect random systems, making it super unpredictable and dangerous.
Right.
It's filled with rogue drones.
Yeah.
Think AI-controlled ships gone rogue.
Creepy.
And then also those abandoned drifter structures you were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
So their journey through Anoikis feels like this descent into the unknown.
Okay.
So first, you have a collapsing wormhole that forces them off course.
Whoa.
And then they encounter an abandoned drifter station, one of these eerie structures just filled with unanswered questions.
Right.
Yeah.
Very spooky.
Yeah, super creepy. And it's in that station that they discover data logs that hint at the prototype's true purpose and possibly an ancient purpose of that.
Wow, so it's like peeling back layers of a cosmic onion.
It is revealing a much bigger picture than anyone initially imagined.
For sure.
Okay, but it's not just, space anomalies and ancient tech that they have to worry about. There's also betrayal going on aboard the Haven. Oh no, really?
Yeah. So the story takes this turn toward paranoia and suspicion.
Okay.
Systems get sabotaged, signals are sent to these unknown recipients, and at first, it seems like Merrick, The ship's engineer who's a former pirate?
At Amazon, you'll find stylish offers. Find thousands of great daily deals on Amazon.
Might be the culprit.
Oh, shit.
But then, plot twist, it's actually Tessa Melvick, the Amara diplomat, who's been playing everybody.
Oh, wow. Classic sci-fi betrayal.
I know, right? But it makes sense in the context of New Eden because alliances are constantly shifting. Everybody's got their own agenda.
Right, everybody's got something going on. Makes you wonder who you can trust in a universe like this.
Exactly. And speaking of untrustworthy, let's move on to those rogue drones.
Okay.
Especially the encounter in the Veil of the Silent.
Ah, yes. Veil. This region of space, it disrupts communications and sensors. It makes it like the perfect hiding spot for rogue drones. They're already a constant threat in EveOnline and in Dark Horizon.
Right.
They're even more terrifying.
Oh, yeah. It is a chaotic edge-of-your-seat battle. We see the Haven's defenses, we see Kale's fleet, and, you know, they make this really risky decision to activate the prototype.
Oh.
But here's the thing.
Yeah.
Activating the prototype creates this traceable signature,
Oh.
like a beacon in the void.
So it's a double-edged sword.
It is.
They survived that immediate threat, but they've also attracted a lot of unwanted attention.
Exactly.
And that's where things really start to heat up. But we'll dive into that in part 2.
All right, so for our listener, we've covered a lot of ground here. We've met our main characters.
Yeah.
We've explored the mysteries surrounding the prototype, and we've seen firsthand the dangers of New Eden.
Definitely.
And this is really just the beginning.
Oh, I can't wait to see what happens next.
I know, me too. The story just throws us into this world where power is constantly shifting. And trust is like this really valuable commodity, more valuable than any spaceship or weapon.
Yeah.
And it really makes you question like the nature of power and the choices we make when we're confronted with it.
It does.
So as we head into part 2, I'm curious to see how Erin and her crew navigate this really treacherous landscape. Stay tuned for more.
I will. I definitely will.
So we left off with the Haven escaping that swarm of rogue drones.
Right.
But they had to activate the prototype to do it,
Yeah.
which sent out this signal
Yeah.
that is sure to attract a lot of unwanted attention. It's a classic dilemma, right?
Totally.
You survive the immediate threat, but you potentially create an even bigger one down the line.
Exactly. And it highlights this really important theme that we see throughout Dark Horizon.
Oh, yeah.
It's this idea that even the best choices have unintended consequences.
Right.
So they managed to escape the Veil of the Silent.
Right.
But now they're in even deeper trouble because they've basically painted this giant target on their backs.
Yeah.
And remember, they're still carrying that prototype that everyone wants.
Exactly. So where do they go? They can't just outrun everybody forever.
Right. They need allies, they need resources, they need a plan. So they head for Crescent Station. It's a Minmatar outpost
Okay.
that's known for its, shall we say, relaxed approach to the law.
Sounds a little shady.
Oh, it is. Think of it as a spaceport where deals are made in back rooms,
Mm-hmm.
and everyone has something to hide.
Okay, so it sounds like in New Eden, sometimes you gotta make deals with the devil.
You got it.
So what happens at Crescent Station?
Okay, so RN meets with Kale, Tessa Melvick, and some other key players.
Okay.
They're trying to figure out their next move,
Right.
but trust is in very short supply, especially after Tessa's betrayal.
Of course.
So it's this super tense situation. Everyone's watching their back.
Right.
No one is sure who to believe.
Yeah, that's understandable given what's at stake, right? I mean,
Yeah.
this prototype isn't just some powerful weapon.
No.
It literally has the potential to control entire planets.
Exactly. If it falls into the wrong hands, the entire region could be destabilized.
Oh, easily.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And to make matters even worse.
They receive intel that suggests a coalition of pirate factions is now targeting them.
So they're basically surrounded.
They're surrounded
Yeah.
on all sides.
They've got internal conflicts to deal with, external threats closing in,
Right.
and this incredibly powerful device that everyone wants to get their hands on. Talk about pressure.
I know. It's like they're trapped in a pressure cooker.
Yeah.
The tension is building.
Right.
It feels like something's got to give.
So what happens next? Do they manage to escape Crescent Station with the prototype?
Things get even more complicated
Of course they do.
when Curran, the ship's security officer, discovers something huge.
What's that?
Okay, so he finds this hidden file.
Okay.
It's got Tessa's encryption codes in it.
Uh-oh.
And those codes unlock a deeper understanding of the prototype's capabilities.
Okay, so up until now, we've just been getting these like hints about what the prototype can do.
Right, yeah.
But this is where we finally get some confirmation, right?
This is it. The file confirms that the prototype can actually control planetary infrastructure remotely.
Whoa, so that's like communications,
Everything.
resource allocation, defense systems, the whole shebang.
Everything. Imagine the chaos if that kind of power fell into the wrong hands.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It's almost unimaginable. Like a single device that's capable of controlling entire planets. It raises so many ethical questions.
I know, right?
Like, can any individual or group be trusted with that level of control? What kind of safeguards should be in place?
Right.
I mean, I don't even know. It's a tough one.
Yeah.
Heavy stuff.
Yeah, and those questions are really at the heart of Dark Horizon. You know, as the characters are trying to figure out what to do with the prototype, how to keep it out of the wrong hands, they're also forced to confront these larger implications of its very existence.
So it's not just about survival anymore. It's about, like, the future of New Eden. It's a huge responsibility. So how do they handle it? Like, do they find any answers?
Well, they make this really daring escape from Crescent Station.
Okay.
But they're immediately pursued by the Amar, who are determined to capture the prototype.
Of course.
And they find themselves navigating this crazy region of space called the Inferno Belt.
The Inferno Belt, that sounds intense.
Well, it is. It's filled with these asteroid fields and volatile gases. So it's this desperate attempt to shake off their pursuers and buy themselves some time.
So they jump from one dangerous situation to the next. You gotta admire their resilience, though.
You do.
But I'm guessing the Amars aren't gonna give up that easily.
Oh no. And to make matters worse, the Amars have deployed a dreadnought.
Yeah, come on, a dreadnought.
Yeah.
Those things are huge.
Massive. It's a warship capable of obliterating their entire fleet.
So they're outmatched, outgunned, and running out of options.
Pretty much.
It's like a classic David and Goliath scenario. How do they possibly survive this?
Well, they can't outrun a dreadnought.
No.
So Arin makes a super daring decision to split the fleet.
Okay, how does that work?
Okay, so Kale uses his rattlesnake as a decoy,
Okay.
drawing the Amar away, while the Haven actually confronts the dreadnought directly.
It's a bold move.
Very bold. It's a total long shot.
Yeah.
But they're desperate, and they have one more trick up their sleeve.
Let's hear it.
They overload the prototype, creating this massive EMP blast that cripples the dreadnought systems.
So they basically fry the dreadnought's electronics with this supercharged EMP.
Exactly.
Clever. This seems like every time they use this prototype, it's like this gamble.
It is.
With huge risks and rewards. I mean, it saved them this time, but
Right.
what kind of consequences is this going to have down the line?
That's the question, isn't it? I mean, they bought themselves some time, but they've also created another traceable signature. And who knows what other unforeseen consequences might arise from overloading such a powerful device.
It's a temporary victory, but they're far from safe.
They are not safe. In fact, they've just entered the most dangerous game of all.
Ooh, okay. Well, I guess we're going to have to find out what that is in part 3.
You will.
All right, listeners, stay with us for the final part of our deep dive. We're about to uncover the final layers of this complex and thrilling story. Welcome back to the final part of our deep dive into Dark Horizon, Echoes of New Eden. We left off with the Haven. They just disabled an Amar dreadnought by overloading the prototype. But in the process, they created another traceable signal.
Yep.
It feels like they can't catch a break.
No, they really can't.
One thing after another.
It's this constant cycle, isn't it? Survival and then consequence. They make a move to stay alive, but then that move has these repercussions that ripple outward and create all these new challenges for them. And on top of all of that, remember, they're still grappling with the ethical implications of the prototype itself.
Yeah, it's not just about staying alive. It's about...
It's a lot.
Yeah. You deal with it.
It's a lot to handle. So they've just taken out a dreadnought.
Yeah.
Where does the story go from there?
Okay, so the story takes this really fascinating turn at this point.
Okay.
It dives deeper into the complex web of politics and alliances within New Eden.
Okay. Yeah.
So the Amar may be the most immediate threat.
Right.
But they're not the only ones who are interested in the prototype.
Ooh, intrigue.
Yeah.
I'm listening. So who else is involved?
Well, remember Tessa Malvik?
The Amar diplomat.
The Amar diplomat who betrayed the Haven crew.
Yeah.
Well, it turns out she's been working with a faction within the Galente Federation.
What? The Galente?
The Galente.
But they're supposed to be like rivals with the Amar?
Exactly.
I don't understand.
And that's what makes this so interesting.
In New Eden, alliances are fluid.
Okay.
So enemies can become allies, and vice versa, depending on the circumstances and what's at stake.
So what do the Galente want with the prototype? Are they hoping to team up with the Haven crew?
Not quite. What they really want is access to the prototype's technology.
Okay.
They see it as a way to shift the balance of power in their favor, potentially give them an edge over the Amar. And Tessa, with her knowledge of the prototype and her connections within the Amar Empire, is a key player in their plan.
It's all starting to feel very Cloak and Dagger.
It is.
But I can see why Iron would be hesitant to trust the Galente, especially after everything that's happened.
Oh, absolutely. She has every reason to be cautious.
Yeah.
The Galente, while not as openly aggressive as the Amar, have their own history of political maneuvering and territorial ambitions. So sharing the prototype with them would be a huge risk. One that could backfire spectacularly.
For sure. So what does she do? Does she make a deal with the Galente?
Well, Erin's in a really tough spot here.
Yeah.
She needs allies, but she can't risk handing over the prototype to a faction that might use it for their own gain.
Right.
It's a moral dilemma as much as a strategic one, and I think the story does a really good job of not giving us easy answers. Instead, it leaves us pondering those complexities of power, trust, and the choices we make when we're facing these seemingly impossible odds.
It sounds like Dark Horizon isn't afraid to tackle some really big questions.
No, it doesn't.
Even within, the framework of a space adventure story.
It's true, and it does it in a way that's really engaging and thought-provoking.
Yeah.
So the ending is a little bit of a cliffhanger.
Oh no, come on.
I know.
So no happy ending tied up in a neat bow.
Not this time. But that's part of what makes the story so compelling.
Okay.
It leaves you wanting more, it leaves you thinking about the themes that it explores, the characters' choices, what might happen next.
It sounds like a story that really stays with you. It does.
Long after you finish reading.
It does. It's a really good reminder that in a universe as vast and complex as New Eden, or even in our own world, the choices we make have these ripple effects.
Right.
And sometimes the most important battles are the ones that we fight within ourselves.
No, I like that.
As we grapple with these questions of power, responsibility, and trust.
I think that's a great note to end on. So listener, if you're looking for a sci-fi story that blends action, intrigue, and ethical dilemmas, I highly recommend checking out Dark Horizon, Echoes of New Eden.
It's a story that will keep you on the edge of your seat and leave you pondering those big questions long after you finished reading.
And with that, we conclude our deep dive. We'll be back soon with another fascinating topic to explore. Until then, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep diving deep. Welcome back, everybody. Today we're going to be taking a deep dive into the final chapter of The Lone Capsuleer, The Hounds of the Hunt.
Oh, this is a good one.
It is, right?
Yeah.
So last time we left off with Valen, Eliana, and Kale in a
pretty tight spot.
Yeah, they're on the run.
They are trying to escape with that mysterious artifact. In
their ship, the Javelin's Edge. But
yeah, the Javelin's Edge.
That's right.
Dark Bliss is not going to let them get away that easily.
Yeah, how does the author even begin to get them out of this?
Well, he really cranks up the tension.
Yeah.
Right from the get-go.
Okay.
Valen, our, normally so calculated strategist.
Right.
He makes this crazy, desperate gamble by flying straight into a nebula.
It's, it's not a nebula.
Talk about a risky move.
It's a classic between a rock and a hard place. You've got Dark Bliss.
Right.
And his fleet closing in.
Coming up fast behind them.
And then you have this unpredictable nebula that could just tear their ship apart.
Yeah, what do you do in that situation?
So what makes Valen choose the nebula?
Well, I think it's more than just desperation.
Okay.
Valen is not only responsible for his own life,
right,
but the safety of his crew, too.
Yeah, of course.
And this artifact, which we still don't really know anything about.
Right, exactly.
So he's carrying a huge burden.
Oh, yeah.
And that nebula, despite how dangerous it is, represents a chance, however slim, to disappear.
Yeah.
To lose Dark Bliss in the chaos.
In the chaos of the nebula.
Exactly. So it's a gamble born out of a leader's responsibility.
It really adds another dimension to Valen.
Absolutely.
Right, he's not just reacting, he's thinking strategically.
Yeah.
Even when faced with impossible odds.
Even when it seems like there's no way out.
Yeah, and then just when you think things can't get more complicated,
right,
they find something even more unexpected.
A massive energy signature.
Yeah.
Inside the nebula.
What is that?
is another gate builder relic, like the one they're carrying? Or is it something else entirely? Something maybe even more dangerous?
And remember, at this point, we, the readers, know as little about the gate builders as Valen and his crew do.
Exactly. Every new discovery just raises more questions.
And don't forget, they're still trying to outrun Dark Bliss.
Oh yeah, the pressure is on.
Talk about pressure.
You've got to make a split-second decision.
They do.
Do you investigate this energy signature?
Right.
Risk putting yourself in even more danger?
Potentially.
Or do you focus on escaping and just ignore it?
They're in a tough spot.
Yeah.
So what do?
Well, they decide to investigate.
They do.
They do.
Wow.
Which I think really highlights a theme that runs throughout the whole book, this relentless pursuit of knowledge.
Even in the face of danger.
Even when it could get you killed.
That's intense.
Driven by curiosity, by this need to understand the unknown.
So they go deeper into the nebula following this energy signature, and
they find a gate, a fully operational gate.
Whoa.
I mean, this is huge.
It is a huge discovery.
Right, we've seen bits and pieces of gate builder technology before.
Throughout the story, yeah.
But this is the first time they found a functioning gate.
Yeah.
It adds a whole new layer of intrigue to the gate builder's civilization.
It really does.
What was its purpose?
How does it work?
Where does it lead?
It's like finding a doorway to another dimension in the middle of a cosmic storm.
In the middle of this crazy nebula.
Yeah, it's pretty mind-blowing.
It is.
I bet you weren't expecting that.
I was not.
It completely changes the story.
It does.
From a desperate escape to a journey into the unknown.
A journey into the unknown, exactly.
But of course, they still haven't escaped Dark Bliss.
Of course not.
He's not going to let them just waltz through this gate.
No, without a fight.
Oh.
He wants that artifact.
Right.
And he's not going to give up until he gets it.
So Dark Bliss's flagship emerges from the nebula,
blocking their path.
It's a classic standoff.
It is.
He demands they surrender the artifact.
Of course.
Promises them safe passage in return.
In return, yeah, right.
Info?
But Valen...
He's not backing down.
He's not one to back down easily.
Never.
This is a pivotal moment, I think.
It is.
Where you really see Valen's character. He's not just a skilled pilot and a strategist. He's also fiercely loyal to his crew.
Absolutely.
And determined to protect what he believes in.
No matter the cost.
So with Dark Bliss breathing down their necks...
The tension is palpable.
Valen makes a daring move.
What does he do?
He orders Aeliana to activate the gate.
The gate?
And plunges the javelin's edge right through.
Wow.
Leaving Dark Bliss and his fleet behind.
That's a bold move.
It's a risky move.
It is.
A leap of faith.
It is.
With no guarantee of what's on the other side.
Talk about putting your trust in the unknown.
It's a brilliant cliffhanger.
It is.
It leaves us on the edge of our seats, wondering where this gate has taken them. Yeah, where did they end up?
And it turns out, even Aeliana, their expert navigator, is just as surprised as we are.
How is that possible?
As they emerge from the gate, Aeliana confirms they've arrived in uncharted space.
Uncharted space?
A region of the galaxy not found on any star charts.
Wow.
They've jumped into the void, leaving everything familiar behind.
And what do they find there?
What do they find there? Well, that's what we're going to find out in part 2 of our deep dive.
Oh, I can't wait. Talk about jumping into the deep end, right?
Into the unknown.
I mean, can you imagine?
No.
Hurtling through this unknown portal.
Yeah.
Ending up in uncharted space, totally off the grid.
Completely off the grid. It's a total leap of faith.
A leap of faith.
And it really speaks to their trust in each other. I mean,
yeah.
Valen trusts Aeliana to get them through that gate. Aeliana trusts Valen's judgment, even when it means taking a risk like that.
Even when it means going completely blind.
They're a team.
They are.
They're bound by this shared experience.
Absolutely.
And driven by this common goal.
Yeah, to figure out what's going on.
To protect that artifact.
To protect that artifact.
Right, and that shared goal, I think, becomes even more intriguing when they make their first major discovery in this uncharted territory.
Okay, what is it?
A massive derelict space station.
A space station?
A derelict space station.
Oh.
And not just any station, one that clearly bears the hallmarks of gate builder technology.
So they are connected somehow to the gate builders.
It seems like it, right.
This is getting interesting.
That's like stumbling upon a ghost ship.
A ghost ship?
In the vastness of space.
I mean, this is incredible.
The station is ancient.
Ancient.
Eerily silent.
Silent.
And orbiting a black hole.
orbiting a black hole.
It's a little ominous, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, just a little bit.
I mean, it really sets the tone for this part of the story.
It does.
The author's choice of setting is brilliant.
Black holes.
Yeah.
They're these cosmic enigmas.
I mean, they're associated with danger and mystery.
Yeah, the warping of time and space.
Yeah.
You never know what's gonna happen.
You don't.
It's almost Lovecraftian, wouldn't you say?
Oh, totally.
Like something out of a nightmare.
I'm getting chills just thinking about it.
I know.
I mean, imagine being in their shoes,
Yeah.
stranded on this derelict station,
Right.
cut off from everything familiar with a black hole looming over you.
Looming over you.
It just, I don't know, it's just
There's a sense of isolation and vulnerability.
so much vulnerability.
Yeah, you're completely exposed.
And remember, they've been running from dark bliss this whole time.
All right.
They've escaped his clutches,
For now,
but the threat is still out there.
it's still out there.
They don't know if he can track them through the gate.
Exactly.
And now they're in this extremely vulnerable position.
Stuck on this derelict station, orbiting a black hole.
So even though that immediate chase is over, the suspense is still there.
Oh yeah, the author does a great job of keeping us on edge.
Yes, and as if the derelict station and the black hole weren't enough,
Right.
things get even more unsettling when the artifact they've been carrying suddenly activates.
The artifact.
It hacktivates.
I bet.
This is where things get really mind-bending.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
Throughout the book, this artifact has been a mystery.
A total mystery.
We don't know its purpose,
Right.
its origins,
Yeah.
even what it is.
It's just this enigma.
It's this enigmatic object
Right.
that Valen is determined to protect.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's springing to life on this abandoned station.
I wonder if the station itself triggered something in the artifact.
Right, like the whole place was waiting for them.
Waiting for them.
Yeah, and what does it do? It projects a holographic message of a human figure.
A human figure.
Human figure.
But I thought the gate builders were aliens.
We
This
don't.
changes everything.
It throws a massive wrench into everything we thought we knew about the gate builders.
I know.
I mean, up to this point, we've assumed they were an alien civilization.
Right, vastly different from humans.
Vastly different from humans.
Now this,
Now we have this human figure
appearing out of the artifact.
welcoming Valen and his crew to this hidden place.
What does it mean?
It raises so many questions.
Are the gate builders human after all?
Or is there a deeper connection between humans and this ancient civilization that we're only just beginning to understand?
It's like peeling back layers of a cosmic onion.
Yeah.
And each layer reveals something even more perplexing.
The mystery keeps deepening.
And then there's that line from the human figure.
Right.
This place was never meant to be found.
What does that even mean?
What were they trying to hide?
What were the gate builders trying to hide?
And what are the consequences of finding it?
I mean, it really makes you realize Valen and his crew have stumbled onto something far bigger
Way bigger.
than they could have imagined.
It's not just about running from an enemy anymore.
No.
They've stumbled right into an ancient mystery.
That spans galaxies and possibly.
Possibly even time itself.
And the suspense doesn't end there.
Of course not.
Just as Valen and his crew are trying to process this cryptic message,
Yeah.
it abruptly ends.
Oh no.
The screen flickers,
What?
and an ominous countdown appears.
A countdown.
A countdown.
This is intense.
Talk about a cliffhanger.
What does it mean?
Is it a timer?
A timer for what?
For some catastrophic event?
Oh no.
A trap about to be sprung?
Or maybe a deadline.
A deadline?
Something they need to do.
Before time runs out.
This is crazy.
It leaves us hanging, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The author does a phenomenal job building the tension,
Yeah.
leaving us with more questions than answers.
What happens next?
What does this countdown mean?
Yeah.
What fate awaits Valen and his crew on this derelict station?
I guess we'll have to wait for part 3 to find out. I can't stop thinking about that countdown.
Yeah, that countdown at the end of the last chapter really throws a wrench into things.
Like a ticking time bomb.
Yeah.
We have no idea what it's counting down to.
It really does make you think.
Yeah. What could it be? The author's really good at keeping us in suspense.
Yeah.
Doesn't give us any easy answers.
No.
Makes us really think about all the possibilities.
What are the possibilities? I mean,
It could be a warning,
a warning.
a deadline, a
Oh.
trigger for some catastrophic event.
We're just left to fill in the blanks.
With our own imaginations.
It's scary.
And the setting doesn't help.
No, not at all. I mean,
Trapped on this derelict station,
orbiting a black hole
orbiting a black hole.
with this countdown ticking away.
Yeah, it's like a recipe for a cosmic horror story.
Yeah.
And we're right in the middle of it.
Do you think there's any significance to the black hole?
I think the black hole is definitely symbolic.
Okay.
Black holes are often associated with the unknown,
Right.
the point of no return.
Yeah.
It's a fitting backdrop for this climax.
Yeah.
Valen and his crew are facing a situation that could change everything.
Everything.
They've journeyed into the heart of a mystery.
Yeah, they have.
And now they're confronted with this countdown.
Right.
This ticking clock that seems to be governing their fate.
It's like they've stumbled onto a stage set for this grand cosmic play.
Yeah.
They're not sure if they're the audience.
Or the actors.
Right, exactly.
It's so unsettling.
It is.
And then there's the whole thing with the holographic message.
The human figure.
The human figure.
The warning about this place being never meant to be found.
Never meant to be found.
What do you make of all that?
It really does change everything.
It does.
Yeah.
Challenges our assumptions about the gate builders.
Right.
About their connection to humanity. About the nature of this whole story.
It opens up so many possibilities.
Maybe the gate builders weren't an alien civilization at all.
Okay.
Maybe they were our distant ancestors.
Our ancestors.
A branch of humanity that took a different evolutionary path.
That's a fascinating thought.
Or maybe they were something else entirely.
Something we can't even comprehend.
Beyond our understanding. Why hide this place?
That's the big question, isn't it?
It is.
What were they trying to protect or maybe contain?
There's definitely a sense of forbidden knowledge.
Yeah, like there's secrets that were never meant to be uncovered.
Makes you wonder if Valen and his crew have unleashed something they shouldn't have.
Right.
Triggered a chain of events they can't control.
It's a classic trope in science fiction.
It is.
The idea that knowledge can be dangerous.
Dangerous.
That there are some things humanity isn't ready to know.
Yeah.
But it's also a reminder of our curiosity, our drive to explore the unknown, even when it's risky.
Even when it could be dangerous.
It's what makes us human.
It's what makes this story so captivating.
Absolutely.
It's not just action and adventure. It's about the pursuit of knowledge.
Yeah.
The consequences of our choices.
The struggle to understand our place in this vast and mysterious universe.
As we wrap up this deep dive,
Yeah.
I want to turn it over to you, the listener.
Okay.
What do you think awaits Valen and his crew?
What do you think that countdown means?
Is it a warning?
A deadline.
Or something else entirely?
Is the derelict station a tomb, a prison?
Or a gateway to something even more extraordinary?
And what secrets are hidden within that mysterious artifact?
We might not have the answers yet.
But one thing is for sure.
That's that.
Valen's journey is far from over.
He's crossed a threshold into the unknown.
And whatever lies on the other side is going to challenge everything he thought he knew.
About the galaxy.
About the gate builders.
About herself.
And that's the beauty of a good story.
It leaves us with more questions than answers.
Sparks our imaginations.
Invites us to continue the exploration on our own.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Until next time.
Keep looking up at the stars.
And wondering
what secrets they hold.
Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're gonna dive deep into some fascinating material.
Oh, yeah.
It's a fictional story about these two capsuleers, Valen Cord and Ileana Soren.
Capsuleers, huh?
Yeah, and they're exploring, get this, Jovian space.
Now that's interesting. Jovian space. Haven't heard that in a while.
Right. So for anyone who needs a refresher, the Jovians are, or were, I guess, this super advanced civilization, long gone now.
Right. Vanished.
So-
Lots of mystery surrounding them.
Exactly. And their technology, forget about it. Way beyond anything we can even imagine.
You're talking like Clark's third law level stuff.
Yeah.
Any sufficiently advanced technology, you know.
Totally. It's going to feel like, I don't know, a space opera with a little bit of Indiana Jones.
In space, of course.
Of course. But okay, here's the thing about Valen and Ileana.
Okay, what about them?
They're not just explorers.
Oh.
They're running from this, well, enemy, I guess you'd call it. Someone called Dark Bliss.
Dark Bliss. Sounds ominous.
Right. And we don't know much about them yet, but clearly Valen and Ileana are taking them very seriously.
Makes you wonder what they're mixed up in.
Doesn't it? But here's where it gets even more interesting.
Lay it on me.
So they're being drawn back to this place in Jovian space, a place that almost killed them before.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, and it's all because of something Valen brought back from their last trip there. Some kind of Jovian tech.
So that's the draw. The tech.
Sounds like a recipe for disaster, right? Like, come on, you almost died there once.
Yeah, but it's that classic hero's journey, isn't it? Can't resist the call of the unknown, even if it's dangerous.
Yeah, but is it bravery or just plain recklessness? What do you think?
Tough to say. I mean, think about early explorers on Earth. They sailed into uncharted waters, not knowing what they'd find.
Yeah.
Facing the unknown, That's part of what makes us human, right?
True. There's definitely that drive to explore, to push the boundaries. But here, it's not just curiosity driving them, is it? It seems like this Jovian tech Valen has, it's almost like it's calling him back, you know?
Yeah, the source material hints at that, the connection that goes beyond just scientific interest. And this Jovian tech, who knows how it works? We're talking about a civilization so advanced we can barely grasp the basics.
Right. It'd be like, I don't know, giving a caveman a smartphone.
Yeah, exactly. Powerful, but totally beyond their understanding.
So to recap, we've got this dangerous enemy chasing them, ancient tech that seems to have a mind of its own, and a whole civilization whose secrets we're just starting to uncover.
Quite the setup.
It is. But it can't be all mysteries and deep thoughts, right? Tell me about their journey back to Jovian space.
Oh, it's anything but peaceful. Think pirate ambushes, rival capsuleers looking to take advantage.
Capsuleers, those are the elite pilots, right? The ones who can, like, connect to their ships directly?
Yeah, exactly. It's a constant fight for survival out there.
Wow, so it's like a high-stakes space chase, essentially.
You could say that. It's a real test of their skills and their luck, let's be honest.
Okay, but hold on. This is all just to get back to Jovian space. What about this Dark Bliss character? We need more details.
Yeah, I agree. Unfortunately, the source material's still pretty vague on that front, but the fact that they're always looking over their shoulder, that tells you something.
True. Mysterious and menacing. Adds to the suspense. So they're dodging pirates and existential threats. Anything else they gotta deal with?
Well, there's one more thing. They stumble across this stable wormhole leading right into the heart of Jovian territory.
A wormhole. Like a shortcut.
You could see it that way. But it's also a point of no return. They could turn back, but they don't. They choose to go deeper.
It's like they're doubling down, huh? What's driving them? Is it just the tech or something more?
I think it's a mix of things. The allure of the unknown, sure. Maybe the potential rewards of cracking those Jovian secrets. But also maybe a sense of destiny, something tied to that tech Valen's carrying.
Okay, so they're through the wormhole. What's waiting for them on the other side? What's Jovian space actually like?
Ooh. Well, the source material describes it as breathtaking.
Yeah.
Eerie. Think stars, but with this otherworldly light and these massive ancient structures just floating in the void.
Wow, I'm picturing it now. Beautiful, but also a little creepy.
Yeah, like walking through the ruins of, I don't know, some forgotten god.
You're definitely not alone in this alien wonderland, are they?
You got it. Not long after they arrive, they encounter this voice. Out of nowhere, it asks, "Who dares trespass upon the domain of the ancients?"
Ooh, chills. Who is that? The Jovians themselves.
That's the million-dollar question. The source material keeps it a mystery. Could be some kind of automated defense system, a remnant of the Jovians, or maybe something else entirely.
Okay, now that's unsettling. A mysterious voice and a vast, eerie landscape. What happens next?
I think it's even weirder. As they're trying to, figure out this space, these sleek ships show up on their scanners.
Sleek ships, like we're talking alien tech here.
Oh yeah, definitely not something we've seen before. And they don't attack or anything.
So what, they just watch them?
Pretty much. Just shadowing Valen and Eliana's every move.
That's so creepy, like they're being studied or something.
Right, it really adds to that whole, like we're not alone vibe.
You think it's connected to the voice?
Maybe. The source material doesn't really give us any answers yet, but it definitely keeps you guessing, which is good, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. Keeps the suspense up. Okay, so we've got mysterious ships and a spooky voice. What's next? Do they ever, actually reach their destination?
Oh, they do. And it's not what you'd expect. They find this massive station.
A station? Like what kind of station?
It's described as, alive. The energy readings are off the charts.
Alive? What does that even mean?
That's the thing, we don't really know. It's almost like, I don't know, a living organism or something.
Hold on. You're saying this station, it's not just some hunk of metal, it's actually alive.
That's what it sounds like. Like maybe the Jovians didn't build it so much as, grow it or something.
Okay, this is getting wild. And what about Valen's artifact? The Jovian tech he's carrying. Does it react to this living station?
It does. In fact, it starts resonating with the station.
Resonating, like they're communicating.
Yeah, almost like that. Like they're tuned to the same frequency, and that frequency is Jovian tech.
Man, this is blowing my mind. So what happens? Does the station, talk back?
Kinda. A holographic message pops up, and it's not what you'd expect.
Let me guess. Welcome, weary travelers.
Nope. More like turn back while you can. But then it adds this. You carry our legacy.
Whoa. Okay, that's a lot to unpack. What legacy? Why them? This is getting good.
I know, right?
Yeah.
So many questions. It definitely implies Valen has some kind of connection to these Jovians, something even he might not understand.
I'm on the edge of my seat here. So they've got this ominous warning and this cryptic message about a legacy, but I bet it doesn't end there, right?
You bet it doesn't. Suddenly, the station's defenses activate.
Oh no. What, like laser beams and force fields?
Think more advanced. Drones. Swarms of them. And they're unlike anything we've ever seen.
Killer robots from a super advanced civilization. Yeah, that sounds about right for this story. So what do? Do they surrender?
Valen and Eliana surrender. Never. Valen, he unleashes his own heavy drones. And Eliana, she's using her ship's weapons, taking out the attackers one by one with these incredible precision strikes.
Sounds intense, but hold on. Earlier you said Valen's artifact was resonating with the station. Does that, help them in the fight?
It does. It seems to be disrupting the drones, almost like it's messing with their systems.
No way. So the artifact is not just a key or a message, it's like a weapon.
It seems that way. It's definitely got some kind of power over Jovian tech.
Wow. Okay, so does this weaponized artifact save the day?
It does give them an edge. The drones start malfunctioning, and Valen and Eliana seize the opportunity. They manage to disable the station's defenses.
But they took some hits, I bet.
Oh yeah, their ships are definitely worse for wear. But they're alive. And they're inside a Jovian station full of who knows what.
From exploring a mysterious station to fighting killer robots, what a day. So they survived the attack. What happens next?
Well, you'd think after that drone attack, they just want to get out of there, right?
Yeah, I'd be booking it back through that wormhole so fast. They don't, why not?
Curiosity, I guess. Or maybe just stubbornness.
You think it's the tech, they can't resist seeing what's inside this station.
Could be. It's like an archaeologist finding a lost city. You can't just walk away from that.
True. So what do they find? Is it like a Jovian library or something?
Even better. There are data cores, tons of them, filled with who knows how much information.
Wow, imagine all that knowledge. Thousands, maybe millions of years of Jovian history and science just waiting to be unlocked.
And that's not all. They find blueprints, schematics for technology so advanced, it makes our stuff look like, toys.
Seriously, what kind of tech are we talking here?
Weapons, energy sources, even things that defy easy categorization. Stuff that bends the laws of physics as we understand them.
This is incredible. It's like they've stumbled upon the keys to the universe.
It is pretty mind-blowing.
Yeah.
But they don't have much time to just, browse the Jovian archives.
Oh, why not? What happens?
The holographic voice, it comes back.
Not again. What does it say this time? Another warning.
It's a warning, all right, but not about the station's defenses. This time, it's about something else. Something much worse.
Okay, I'm officially spooked. What is it?
The Drifters.
The Drifters. You mentioned them before. They're like another advanced civilization.
Right.
But even more mysterious than the Jovians.
Right. We don't know much about them, where they came from, what they want. But they're powerful. That much is clear. Their tech rivals even surpasses the Jovians in some ways.
And this voice, it's warning Valen and Eliana about them.
Yeah, the message is short and to the point. The Drifters are coming. You cannot escape them. Use what you have found wisely.
Chills. So now what? They're trapped between killer drones and these mysterious drifters. What do?
They grab as much data and as many artifacts as they can, and then they run for it.
Run? But where can they go? The drifters are coming, right?
They head back through the wormhole, their ships barely holding together after the drone attack.
A daring escape. Sounds like something out of a movie.
It's a pretty intense scene, for sure. They make it through, but just barely.
So they're safe. Or, well, safer at least.
For now. But they're on the run, remember. They've got this Dark Bliss character after them, and now they've got the Drifters to worry about, too.
Plus, they're carrying all this Jovian tech. Talk about a target on their backs.
Right. It's like they've stumbled into the middle of some kind of galactic power struggle, and they're holding all the cards.
I love it. It's exciting, it's mysterious, it makes you think.
It really does. And that's the beauty of this story, right? It raises all these questions about ancient civilizations, advanced technology, and the choices we make when faced with the unknown.
What would you do if you were Valen or Eliana? Would you try to use this Jovian tech? Or hide it? Or maybe even try to destroy it before it falls into the wrong hands?
Tough choices. There's no easy answer. But that's what makes it so compelling. We get to explore these possibilities, these what-ifs, without having to face the consequences ourselves.
Exactly. It's been a wild ride with Valen and Eliana so far. Jovi in space, killer drones, mysterious voices, and now the drifters. What's next? I can't wait to find out.
Me neither. The source material leaves us with so many questions, so much to ponder, but that's the mark of a great story, isn't it?
It sure is. Thanks for joining me for this deep dive. Until next time, keep exploring, keep asking questions, and keep looking up at the stars.
With Virgin Media, get smooth, lightning-fast M125 broadband for under £26.
All right, so we're back. And today, we're diving into a chapter from the Lone Capsular.
Oh, yeah.
Which follows the story of Valancourt and Eliana Soren, who are basically immortal pilots with these incredible spaceships.
Right.
They're on the run from this powerful enemy known as Dark Bliss.
Yeah, she's a formidable adversary.
And this chapter throws them into like a whirlwind of close calls and unexpected discovery.
You know, it's a wild ride for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
And what I find particularly interesting is that it's not just about their physical escape,
right?
But it really delves into that psychological pressure they're under.
Oh, yeah.
You know, imagine having this relentless force constantly on your heels, shaping every decision.
Talk about stressful.
Oh, absolutely.
The chapter starts with Valen and Eliana in a bit of a predicament. They're stranded in Fountain, which for those who aren't familiar with the EVE universe, that's pretty much enemy territory.
Yeah, it's like the heart of their enemy's domain.
And they just jumped out of a filament. It's kind of like a secret space tunnel.
Right.
And basically landed on Dark Bliss's doorstep.
Talk about bad luck.
Yeah, they're low on resources, surrounded by enemies, and with this ruthless opponent who is just right behind them.
So what do?
Well, their options are really limited.
Yeah.
They decide to run the gauntlet.
Oh, wow.
Through a series of stargates